Welcome to Radio Mayapur. It's winter time. We are in December, the end, few days of 2025. Christmas is coming. The winter is coming. It's not so cold actually. It's very nice, pleasant. This is the best time of the year to be in Mayapur. There's still a few mosquitoes, but it's okay. It's tolerable. And today we're very fortunate to have with us the returning champion, Navina Nirada Prabhu, who is our hero, who is preaching in 50 different countries. Harinam Sankirtan inspiring thousands of devotees to go out without parachute from the helicopter to fighting and distribute the mercy of the Lord. Welcome, Navina Nirada. It's a pleasure to have you with us again in Radio Mayapur.
Hare Krishna, Ganga Prabhu. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, it's been a wild tour.
Yes.
I just got back from Ukraine and visited.
The bomb were flying?
Yeah, a lot of drones, a lot of action. So we
Scary?
were there. Yeah, it's one place, 200 meters from the temple, a bomb went off and blew up a factory. And obviously it's a lot of tension, a lot of struggle. So, we were in a train station in Dnipropetrovsk, taking the night train to Odessa. Mm-hmm. And it was like 10:30 at night, all different groups of soldiers shipping out to different places. So one group, they came up to us and they looked at us and they started just giving us money. And asking us for blessings and protection.
You were dressed as a devotee.
Yeah, so we gave them prasadam and books and
wonderful.
Said some prayers with them. So it was quite interesting. In Kiev, I met a young couple. They had 2 young children. And when they saw me, they said, we lived with devotees. We had a Bhagavad Gita, but now we lost it. We need a Bhagavad Gita again. And then they said, we have to give you something. Then they went through their stuff and they were obviously quite destitute, so they just came up with a few coins, but I gave them a Bhagavad Gita. They were very, very happy too. So even though a lot of devotees have left the country, especially men who were in that age group where they can be drafted.
Yes, drafted.
Yeah, so they left the country, but the temples are full. There's so much interest for spirituality, for Krishna consciousness. It's quite
I guess when you live in a reality where any moment you can die and bomb can blow you into smithereens.
Well, people are more sober. People are much more sober.
Because you live in a situation where, only God can protect us, We have a similar things, for example, in Napoli. I visited Napoli with His Holiness Swami. And for example, I speak Napolitan because I was born there. But in Napolitan language, we don't have the future tense. It's all present. Why? Because we have a volcano roaring, Vesuvio. We have people who attack us from all over the place. And, sometimes the Germans, sometimes the French, sometimes the Turks, sometimes, from different parts of Africa. So they were living, and they're still living in the present tense. They said, today we have to do this. We have to do it. They don't say tomorrow we'll do it. No, let's do it. So when people, they live day by day, they're more prone to philosophy, understanding of life, temporality of the body. So they live a different mentality. They don't live in a la dreaming land. Tomorrow I'm going to be happy now. If I'm happy now, that's best.
Yeah, that's a good attitude. I was in Guyana and we went out to do chanting in the markets because this is a traditional environment. So people go to the open market to shop groceries, and you go there with a few devotees, you chant and distribute prasadam. Excuse me. And then, one man, he took the prasadam, he took the book, he already gave a donation, and it all went so fast. At the end, I asked him, how are you? And he was a little surprised because, normally you start the conversation. You don't end like that. And so he said, you want to know how I am? I can tell you. At the end of the day, your friend's not going to help you. Your family not going to help you. Your country not going to help you. Only Krishna can help you.
Whoa.
And I said, okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me. It was worth traveling all the way to hear that. So sometimes people, they give you a little sutra, a little piece of wisdom that they have acquired through the school of hard knocks, through paying the price of experience, and they're inspired to share that with you. So that's really what keeps me going after 4 decades, to still go out and distribute books and meet people on of different walks of life. So yeah, that's where we are. So
I think this is one of the best way to surrender to Krishna, because I was in Sankhya for almost 10 years, traveling all over India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and every day we go out and meet people shop to shop, or market, or people in the street. And when you realize that you are not in control, especially in India, thousands, millions of people. So you cannot just choose, oh, this guy's nice, that guy's not nice, this guy's poor, that
you got to
guy's
talk
rich.
to everybody.
No, just talk to everybody, and then
Krishna will surprise you who actually
amazing
comes out.
Yeah, because sometimes you think the worst guy, they're the best. And sometimes the best people who are, well-to-do, there's not beautiful.
Well, this is the difference between theory and practice. You see, like you read the philosophy and you think, this makes sense, this sounds nice, but how much realization do you have till you actually see it right in your own life? You feel it, and that's what makes the difference. So, but that means going out of comfort zone, going into stretch zone, and depending on Krishna. Okay, I'm going to take that leap of faith, going into the great unknown, and dealing with people that might be ignoring you, or might be insulting you or challenging you, but you know that ultimately Krishna has a plan and he knows what we need at this particular moment. So it's not always easy, it's not always pleasant, but it's definitely what brings us closer to him, because like Kunti Maharani prayed that let the bad times roll, because in bad times Krishna was very much present with us in the forest, when the war was on. And now that we're in charge, we're running the world, now Krishna wants to leave us. So this is not acceptable. So let us go back to that situation. Of course, it's not always easy to have that mindset, because when you're in turmoil, when you're in the drama, the tragedy, you wish for it to end sooner than later. So yeah, thank you for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. We got the new book, Sankirtanamrita, The Nectar of Sri Krishna Sankirtan.
I haven't read it yet, to be frank with you.
You just got it. So.
But I will definitely read it, and sure there is a lot of nectar here. One more thing I want to say about the Sankirtan is that, because we have been in Sankirtan for many years, so when you start to speak to a person, you can understand what mode he is, and what type of mentality he has, and how you can enter. Krishna show you some way you can touch his heart. Because what we say is that, how can I distribute the mercy of the Lord to this conditioned soul?
Well, basically, there is no script for it. It's not like you have a, A, B, C, D idea.
It's not a selling technique.
No, you have to depend on Krishna. Okay, I don't know how to talk to this person, but give me the words. So you have to be in a prayerful mood. I was in Mexico in a town called Guanajuato, and there was an older gentleman. He had 3-piece suit with gold watch and handlebar mustache, and very aristocratic gentleman. And before I could open my mouth, he asked me, well, what are you trying to do here? And so then what do you say if you don't know what to say? Like he beat you to the chase. He was quick. He's already there. So then you have to pray. And
the Lord speaks to you.
I need a miracle right now. And then I just opened my mouth and I said, I'm trying to develop humility and introspection through selfless service. So the man said, humility and introspection, through selfless service. He said it twice. And he said, okay, how much is it? How much is it? And he took books, because Krishna spoke to him. Yeah, I didn't know what I was saying, but it just, and that moment of detachment, when you realize, okay, Krishna is the doer, he's speaking through me, I'm his instrument, I'm not trying to force myself in this situation, but I'm ready to whatever is going to happen. You don't know if, what's his reaction. It can go many ways. So that really builds faith. Sharada Shabde Vishwas Kohe Sudrida Nishchoy Krishna Bhakti Karma Karma Srita Hoy, that having that firm faith that that Krishna has got my back, that he's not just, a concept or an abstract, but he's my best friend and he's my well-wisher.
One question I want to ask you: how you keep that alive 24/7? Because when we go in Sankirtan, then it's a special prayer. We say, okay, now I am in this demoniac place, or whatever it is, midst of karma, the most material nature, thick. Last time
when you're a sportsman, you have to stay professional, even if you're off the field, because what happens when you're off the field will very much influence what happens when you're on the field. So you can't be like the party animal and the loosey-goosey, anything goes, and then you play top level performance. It's not going to happen. Like Prabhupada was consistent. He was authentic, which means Prabhupada was Prabhupada, whether he was giving a lecture or he was translating books or he is chanting japa or he's dealing with one person or he's talking to the whole universe. He's the same person. So that people, they respect that because that's integrity, that's consistency. But otherwise it's you do as I say, but you don't do as I do. And you have double lives, your private life, your public life. So when the inside and the outside becomes the same, that's when real practice starts. This was a quote on Gopi Paranadhana Prabhu's desk in Govardhan. He had that quote that when the inside and the outside becomes the same, that's when real practice starts. We also say practice is what happens when no one is watching.
Absolutely.
So what do you do when no one is watching you? Well, that's your practice. So you want to know what your practice is? That's what happens when nobody's watching you.
It's amazing what you said, because I remember my karate teacher. We practiced for 6 years karate Shotokan in Chennai.
That's why you like the street fighting and all that.
Yeah, of course. No, before that. But he taught us not to fight with anybody. He said, take a slap and walk away. It's good.
Fight yourself.
No, he said that when your mind, your words, and your thought are one, you become self-realized. Because, you cannot think, okay, I'm a black belt, I'm going to fight, No, it doesn't work in that way. So your mind has to be tuned, your words are speaking what you think, and your action reflect what you're thinking. So that's self-realization, basically. And he taught us, in the end, don't fight with anybody. Because this fighting, there is always a repercussion. People come back with another 10 guys that smash you. Or if you punch the guy fall down on the rock, you break his head, you end up in jail or in the police. So he said, if they want to kill you, then you kill them, no problem. Or if it's for protecting women, children, old man, or temple, then you step in. All your fight can come out. Otherwise, not personal, you are in neutral. So that is always good. And I'm thinking, another thing came to my mind is that our maintaining this consciousness is the result of our sadhana. I firmly believe, because I live with His Holiness Swami, I learned so many things from him. He wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, chant his round, takes bath, we go Mangalarti every day. So the sadhana is consistent.
That's foundational. That's
because if you go in the waves like up and down, then you won't be able to maintain that consciousness.
But anybody can do that. Meaning, it might not be 3 o'clock, it might be 4 or 5. But get up before the sun gets up and have a spiritual practice, and
chant the holy name.
Yeah, because whatever you put in is what's going to come out during the day.
And also, I feel like this chanting, which we do in the morning, the japa meditation, this is a particular dedicated time to speak to the Lord, because He's listening to us when we chant. We're not asking for money, Mercedes-Benz, helicopter, land, house, whatever, material thing. We are asking just, let me worship you, let me stay with you, let me think of you.
Yeah, that's precious, that's wonderful.
So then if we keep that sacred time, as a sacred time, then many realization come, and you're able to link every day during the day with Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it becomes disconnected sometimes. So everything is in the book.
Thank you. Well, the book is.
No, first of all, how you come to the idea of writing the book?
Well,
somebody inspiring you, somebody told you, somebody forced you, somebody coerced you.
It just happened. It just force of circumstance. It was 2020 lockdown. I was in California, sitting in a cabin in the redwoods. Couldn't go out face the public because people were just scared. they're just jumping away from you. So I had some time on my hands to think and put a few thoughts down to paper. And then I sent it in, and the BBT said, yes, we'll print it, but it needs work. So it took a few more years to finally manifest, but it was worth the time and the effort. And basically, it's three things. It's what happened to a 15-year-old kid who got a Bhagavad Gita, and what he experienced and learned in the next 4 decades. Yeah. And then second, it's a manual for activists, for people who want to make a difference, even if they never met a devotee or been to a temple, but they would read this and they're looking for solutions. They're looking for a way how to find their mission to be part of the solution. This will help them. And third, it's a companion and a friend to the devotees, to those who are already doing missionary work. And sometimes it can get a little hard. They need some encouragement. They need some inspiration. There's a lot of stories, a lot of anecdotes from my own experience, what to do and what not to do. And that's sometimes worth a lot, because you know, context comes with time, but we don't live long enough to make all the stupid mistakes we can make. So that's why it's good to sometimes
learn from the master.
Yeah, learn from others who have already walked the path. You still have to make your own mistakes, but not all of them in the way that others already did. And so that's it. The BBT published it. It's available in India on Amazon and also on Flipkart. And anywhere in the world, you can download it from bbtmedia.com. That's bbtmedia.com. As an ebook. Anyone who buys the print version also gets a free ebook download code. So you get both. You got 2 for 1.
It's only in English so far?
Yes, but already different languages are happening as we speak. Russian, Spanish, Portuguese.
With the AI, we should be able to make in 1 year all the language of the world. Maybe.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Because some people is a barrier. They don't know how to read. Or they know a little bit English, but not enough to chew it or to understand it. So it's nice to have it in different languages.
Yeah, for me, but it was a very good experience to see, where are my strengths and where are my weaknesses. Patience was definitely an issue. My editor complimented me for my oceanic patience, and then for my ridiculous patience after 4 years. And then she ran out of adjectives. And I realized it's just going to happen in God's own sweet time. So I just have to depend on Krishna and see when it will manifest. And that's the way how it is. So I'm happy the way how the book turned out. And I just finished a tour of the major temples in India, inspired devotees.
How many temples in India?
I visited about 30 of them in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Tirupati, Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, about 8 temples, and then Calcutta. So, encouraging devotees for the marathon and presenting the book and doing a lot of book signing. So that was interesting, intense, but good fun. And so now I'm happy to be back at home here in Mayapur and have a little time to just get deeper into study and into chanting, into sadhana, before heading back to Chile and starting my next tour in South
¿Hablas
America.
español?
Claro que sí.
¿Todo el mundo habla español?
Sí.
Oh, me gusta. Okay. Now, before I joined Hare Krishna movement, I met one sage in Himalaya near Manali. He told me there are 3 things you have to do in life. I said, what? He said, 1 is planting tree. I said, okay, I plant already a lot of tree. 1 is to have a son. You have a son. And 1 is to write a book. And you did it. So you're...
I guess I'm done, you know.
Yeah. You keep on going. You keep on going. No,
however long Krishna wants you to keep on going. But at some point, it's really not about going through your bucket list, but it's more about, okay, what is keeping me going? How to align myself with Krishna's plan. Like Prabhupada got up every night at midnight to write 6 pages. He gave us over 60 books. Today's Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada's disappearance day. And he told our Srila Prabhupada that if you ever get money, print books, because this will have lasting impact. So he said, this is more important than building temples. Okay, the public, they need to see structures and building. But for those of us who have seen Venice and Florence and the Vatican, it's like, another temple, another church, big deal. I'm more excited to know who are the teachers who are there, who are going to teach the people. What are they teaching? How are they teaching? And you can see that bhakti or devotion is the baseline in every tradition, which keeps things moving forward. So there's sincere people everywhere.
Everywhere, in all the religions.
And there's all kinds of people.
Everywhere, especially in Hare Krishna.
Yeah, and and that's a very sobering realization, and that makes us a little more reliant on the Lord rather than on, okay, I know people or I have capacity, because Krishna, he can give you or take any moment. It's amala jala jala jivanatala mala. How secure is a drop of water on a lotus leaf? Like as secure as a person working in tech in California. One morning you wake up and your phone says terminated. Your chip doesn't work anymore. Give your laptop back at the security gate. We'll send you your teddy bear in the mail. So that's it, your mortgage, your schools, it's all, your dream. So Krishna consciousness is the positive alternative. Like when we walked here, we were speaking about that there's so many people who are feeling that there has to be a shift in consciousness, in the way how we're doing things. They're sick and tired of the lies, of the propaganda, of the exploitation. So they're looking for alternatives. How can I make a difference in my own way? They may not want to shoot, jump out of airplanes without parachutes, but they want to do what they can.
Yeah.
So to be part of that positive solution, that spiritual revolution, that viplava, that transformation of consciousness is on a lot of people's minds. But they feel disempowered because they don't have really the knowledge. They don't have really the means of how to guidance, how to do that. And that's where each and every listener, that's where each and every person who has some inclination comes in, that to take that knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and of the Vedas, apply it in our own lives, and then share it in whichever capacity we can, by giving them books, by giving people prasadam, by being kind to people. And then you will see how the Lord will give you the words.
I think basically people want to be linked with somebody who's practicing this. Not just words, not just dress, but somebody who's really practicing. So they want to observe and say, okay, this guy's happy, man.
Yeah, like you had your coach there who were teaching you karate or taekwondo or whatever it was. If you can watch all the videos you like, and then what? What do you need a black felt for? To keep your pants up, or to have a master who shows you by his own example how to walk the talk.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're so fortunate. We got Prabhupada, who is our founder Acharya, who was, exemplary in every way. And he was asked by some industrialists in Rishikesh, so who will be your successor? And Srila Prabhupada said, whoever follows my instruction will be my successor. So that is still available. It's not like that job is taken.
No.
That's a mandate for everyone, for all of us. So that's where the empowerment happens. Like you were saying, some people are waiting for that big endorsement, that somebody will appoint them. But
no need.
Lord Chaitanya,
empower yourself.
Lord Chaitanya already declared,
every town and village, my name will be heard.
And
And you also say, whoever knows Krishna is good.
Yeah. So
to whatever degree you know, you can always teach to somebody A, B, C, D, no problem. You maybe don't know the full Bhagavatam, you maybe don't know the Chaitanya Charitamrita fully, but if you understand the concept and in the intrinsic portion of your heart, and when things start to change, there was a famous song by Krishna Prema. He say, you can be part of the problem or you can be part of the solution. So you can choose. And nowadays I see a lot of people that are awakening. I think this is the influence of internet as well. We were born without mobile, without internet, without computer, right? I mean, talking for myself, you're younger than me. But we had no access to communication. But now with the spread wide communication of internet, there's good and bad, of course. But the good thing is that many people are communicating. Many people I see there say, I want to take my family, I go and get a piece of land somewhere in the middle of anywhere, I cultivate my land, I eat my food, because food is becoming contaminated. they're spraying stuff in the sky. I don't know. I don't
mean,
want
there's
to
a lot
be-
of ideas out there. People have been communicating since ever. Now,
Sure.
technology is more, but communication is getting less in the sense that
Yeah.
people don't know how to talk or how to write or how to express themselves. There's a lot of good ideas for those of us who worked on farms, meaning the two of us and
We
a few
know.
more. We know what it
It's
means
hard work.
to go out, not just for the harvest, but also for the plowing and for the
Not
weeding
everybody
season.
can do it. Not
No.
everybody can do it. But
Yeah.
those people who are stick to it and they want to do it and grow their family
Yeah,
there,
a
it's
good
good.
experience.
Especially making when they make a community. It's not just one family, husband, wife, and 2 kids.
Again, community, what does it mean? It means what do we have in common?
Yes.
It doesn't mean that necessarily you live in a village somewhere and you grow your own food. It might be communities of different sorts.
Sure.
Yesterday I talked to a devotee from Ghana, West Africa, and he told me that there's more and more people who are turning away from these evangelical groups because they feel it's a lot of propaganda, it's a lot about money, it's a lot about power. And there's a movement called Common Sense, which sounds pretty interesting.
If everybody has some. Would
Yeah,
be great.
it's quite uncommon nowadays,
Yeah.
where people are going back more to basics, to traditional values, and also looking into native religions and what happened before, colonialization and before other
different
factors came into the equation. And they're connecting to their roots, they're connecting to the essence. And I feel that's a lot of what the Bhakti tradition is offering, that, Prabhupada succeeded because he taught us principles. And then he expected people to figure out the details locally. Like you were saying, what kind of food they like to eat in Japan and what kind of food they like to eat in Chennai will be quite different in spice and in presentation. And that has to be accepted. That has to be accommodated. Otherwise, you lose your audience, and all of a sudden, you're left in offside. So, bhakti is really what drives this whole cause. And wherever we see bhakti, we should appreciate it. We should encourage it, and then it will grow. It will.
I fully agree with you. But let me come to a point where I say that you need a certain level or a little bit of advancement to open your mind 360 where you can accommodate everybody inside. Because from the culture of Vaishnavas, we see that nobody's left out. Say, no, you're not allowed, or you are outcast, or you are, Malacha, Yamana,
Well, that sounds
whatever.
great, but we got a lot of homework in our own camp,
Absolutely.
There's a
But I
lot
say
of
we
people-
had to come to the level of accommodating everybody and understand we are all in different level. And therefore, no need to criticize anybody. I need to help and encourage everybody to grow.
And start with yourself, because
absolutely.
a lot of people living in denial.
Of course.
A lot of people pretending that there's something
You
that they're
mean
not.
the Nile in
Yeah.
Egypt?
That they're very advanced, so that they're very something, but there's somebody else. And then at some point it creates a kind of a anachronism, like a disconnect, and it becomes very unhealthy.
Actually, if people that are advanced, they become very humble. I've seen people who are very advanced.
Supposed to be
They
one of the
very humble. I've seen.
characteristics.
Yeah. As you advance in Bhakti, Bhanu Maharaj explained, we don't have to particularly, develop. All this quality will develop naturally as you're from sadhu sangha to all the way to prema. There are so many different stages. And as you progress in the stages, naturally you become more advanced, more accommodating, more humble, and more nice. And you become the better version of yourself, of the spirit soul.
Yeah, as our acharyas state, that there's two main ways to recognize. Madhvacharya says to recognize a person's spiritual advancement. Number one is steadiness, that they're very steady, no erratic behavior, no big fluctuations of mood swings and up and down, and I'm fully on or I'm fully off. And the second is Mukha Prasad, that whatever comes from the mouth is sweet speech, like Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita in the 15th verse of the 17th chapter, Anudvega Karam Vakyam, that such speech should be pleasing, beneficial, and truthful, and in relationship with Vedic wisdom. And when we can see that the person is consistently speaking in this type of frequency, then we can see, okay, this person actually has made spiritual advancement. And that's a good indicator also to introspect and look into ourselves. Okay, what's my vocabulary? What's my way, how I move in the world? And yeah, then we can see there is some homework. There is
very important to be introspective. Is very important because every day we should wake up and always think, I'm so fortunate to be where I am. I'm so fortunate to have such association, devotee, beautiful place, prasadam. And how can I improve every day a little bit, How can I always come a little bit closer to Krishna? How can I please the Lord? Because I think the difference between the advanced devotee and other, we are all devotee, all the jiva, they're all servant. Either we serve Maya, we serve Krishna. But it's that the advanced devotee think, how can I help, other people to come closer to Krishna? They have that desire, burning desire in the heart. Prabhupada had this desire planted in his heart by his guru, and he sincerely wanted to help the devotee to progress in spiritual life. So if that desire is predominating in the people's consciousness and there are frequencies in tune with the Lord, then naturally they will feel merciful. No, usually people think, what is in it for me? Right? Yeah, I'm doing this, but what am I getting out?
Those are the base levels of consciousness. The basic ignorant level is fear, which means, I'm afraid to lose my life. I'm afraid to lose my job. I'm afraid to lose anything. So fear is certainly motivation for people in the mode of ignorance. In the mode of passion is profit. The carrot, what can I gain? Why do I get out of this situation or this person? Expediency. In a mode of goodness, it's duty. Okay, this is my nature. I'm a teacher. I'm supposed to teach. So, all right, let's get on with it. This is who I am. But then there is transcendence, which means
you can do anything.
You can do anything. You can be a chariot driver, like Krishna did for Arjuna. Because when there is love, you're happy to play any position.
Absolutely.
Even if there is no script for it, you make it up because it's for the pleasure of the Lord. It's
and also what is needed at that particular time.
It's the necessity of the moment.
Yeah, in the kitchen there is nobody to cook. Okay, I'll step in, I'll cook. Maybe Italian, if you like it or not, I don't know. But we can cook. We can clean,
I remember when you lived in the building next to Sulab Kitchen, and that was more than 30 years ago, like more 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And you invited me to your home, and your good wife made lasagna, and I was thinking, is this possible in India in the 80s?
At that time.
In the 80s, somebody making lasagna. I remember that,
because there was no lasagna available. We had to make it with a hand machine we bought from Italy.
35 years ago. So people still ask me when we had Madhavas, the first private venture, after Govinda's restaurant.
Yeah.
And people still ask me, oh, do you still have that restaurant? And I'm like, that was 20 years ago,
Yeah.
But if they eaten good prasadam in your place,
you still remember.
They still remember.
The quality you remember.
Yeah. Also the quality of exchange, that somebody invite you without any ulterior motive, not like I need a guy for my soccer team or for my little squadra, for my little project. But just I see there's an opportunity to serve, and Krishna inspire me to extend myself to somebody. And that touches people's hearts because people are looking for transformational, not for transactional relationships. You can buy stuff, Amazon ships, you can go to the marketplace, but that moment of real interaction, selflessness, that's why the online experience is not a substitute for the offline experience. I mean, if you live somewhere in a cave in Antarctica and you're afraid that the polar bear gonna eat you, then okay, then you live your online life. But for the normal people on this planet, I still strongly encourage everybody to get out of your front door, get into the great unknown, also known as the public, and just smile at people and say, hello, how are you doing today? And be surprised, the world will smile back at you. Yesterday, I met a couple in front of the Samadhi. They live in the Andaman Islands, and he has a small grocery store, but he's from Calcutta originally, and his daughter is married in Bangalore, and he's almost my age, and we're just kind of sharing our hearts. And I gave him a few books of Prabhupada and also my own book, and he was very happy to just have a moment of connection, have a moment of heart to heart, sharing. That's what we need.
I think the most important, powerful thing I have observed is that people can connect to your heart when they see you are really sincere. You're speaking from your heart. You're not trying to jumble something to get something from them, whether it's money.
Well, sincerity means no duplicity, no ulterior motive. You're not like calculating anything. You're just trying to, as you said, be there, live in the moment, know that this moment is Krishna. If I can appreciate Krishna in whichever way, then Krishna will do the magic. He will do amazing things. And that's pretty much the gist of the book, Sankirtan Amrita. And could have been written by any Sankirtan devotee, by any person who goes out to share Krishna's message. A lot of them won't write because they're too humble. So I wrote it for them. Nice. And also, we really like to encourage everybody to have their own experiences, because we want you to have your own stories, your own realizations. Yes, you can go online, you can go on my YouTube channel, and there is a lot of stories and a lot of seminars and a lot of lectures. But then, as Gopakumar, the hero of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, says, that the highest pramana, or the highest evidence, of course, for us, philosophically, Shastra Praman, or the scripture is the highest evidence. But the most compelling, the most convincing evidence is personal testimony. Because a person has paid the price of, being there and putting themselves at Krishna's disposal. I remember back in the day, before technology moved into the picture, my brother was working for Swiss Air, and I got cheap flight tickets. But it's called a body pass.
Yeah, I know. You have to wait in the airport, that there is empty space in the
Yeah, and if it's overbooked, you're the first guy who gets kicked off the plane. So I wanted to go to Belgrade. It was during
USSR.
It was in the 90s. It was still during the conflict when they had war, and so the lady at the counter, she said, "I can't get you to Belgrade today. No way. Your class, you're not gonna make it. But I can get you to Vienna. And from Vienna, there's a flight with Yugoslavian Airlines to Belgrade. It's only $200. I said, okay, get me to Vienna. But there's a problem. I have no money. I have no credit card. I'm a brahmachari.
Right.
We just go with nothing, So I was in Vienna airport walking around looking, okay, where I'm going to get $200 from to go to Belgrade. I got less than an hour. So I just walk up to a gentleman and tell him my story and say, look, this is my situation. And I said, I'll give you my Swiss ID card, but I need $200 to get to Belgrade to do this program. I'm a missionary. And then here in Vienna, you go to the temple, they give you the $200, you give them back my ID card, they will send it to me in Zurich. And the guy said, it's a crazy story. Even if it's completely bogus, if it's totally fake, good. At least I got a Swiss ID card, It's worth it, Yeah. So he gave me the $200. I went to Belgrade. But I realized, not just in that moment, but in so many moments since then, that Krishna's got your back. But you might have all the money in the world, all the insurance, all the lawyers and guns, but nothing moves. And you realize that you're not in control of anything. So to make ourselves an instrument in Krishna's hands and to depend on him, Srila Prabhupada writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says that bhakti is the most congenial form of intimacy. We like to experience intimacy, friendship, love, union, unity in purpose. And he says bhakti, or devotional service, is the most congenial, the most beneficial form of that intimacy. When you realize that I can be one in desire with Krishna, and he will empower me to do things and say things that I didn't know that I was capable of. And that experience is available. So we like to share this. That's why we wrote this book. And yes, you can You can also get it around the world in different temples. It will be available. It's a BBT publication. It may take some time, but here in India, it's already widely available. So India's, advanced in that way. Yes. And
I think everybody should read this book. But also, I would suggest that everybody take some Prabhupada book and go maybe once in a week. Go in the street.
Why once in a week? Every time you walk out of the front door, you carry a couple of books with you.
Yeah, that's true.
And then people ask you, you are a Krishna, right? You got the Bhagavad Gita? You got something? You got the goods? I got the money. Like,
give it to me.
I want a solution. And instead of just giving them your social media or your story, give them one of Prabhupada's books. How many words can you talk with people, Many times they're not listening so well. All they can take is a smile, and there's a lot of noise going on in their own head. They're chasing their own demons. The radio is non-stop. So then give them one of Prabhupada's books. Ask them to please read it and experience it for themselves, that the process works. Krishna consciousness works. And that's true also for devotees. Sometimes we're very fired up, we're very much in tune with, mission and purpose. Then other things, other priorities may come into the picture. But after a while, as we can get disconnected, we can also reconnect. As we acquire bad habits, we can also, again, develop good habits. So Sankirtan is high sadhana. Team up with a few friends, go out, have a chanting party, chant Hare Krishna. In your town, in your city, in your village, be surprised. A lot of people will come up to you and say, I was in Göteborg, Sweden, and one old lady on the streets, he said, every Saturday I've been coming here, wondering, when are they coming back? When is the singing and chanting happening? It's been more than 2 years since I've seen you guys. What happened? She was really, really looking for the devotees. And there are many people like that who are just looking down the street. When will Nita and Gaur come back, dancing down the street? Because material life is not difficult. It's impossible. Spiritual life can be a little difficult sometimes too. But,
we survive.
Yeah, there is a lot of nectar. There's a lot of opportunities.
It happened to me the same thing. I was walking in Rome, dressed like this, and people stopped me and say, hey, where are you guys? I see you everywhere before 20 years ago. I don't see you anymore. I said, well, we become old. We're going on a farm. We're cultivating.
Kids now, we have grandkids.
And we're cultivating cauliflower. He said, what?
We're still here. We're still here.
We're alive.
Somewhere. Okay. Yeah, we're alive. Yeah, I was in a city in the Andes, and then I'm not going to specify. After the Sunday sermon, after the talk, I go out to walk to the car. And I meet the Mormons, the Jehovah's Witnesses, and one other evangelical group. And I was thinking, wow, in 5 minutes, I meet 3 different Christian groups preaching the gospel. And here we are, sitting back to back, talking to each other, being very happy and comfortable in comfort zone. But there is no growth on a plateau, You have to stay in stretch zone, like you're a sports guy. So, you have to not just
every day.
Wear the shirt, but you have to go out and put a little.
Actually, I very admire these people because they're every day there with a small book table, with a board, and they're willing to talk sweetly to anybody. Even you go and speak to them, that's sweet.
And what's a big shot? A big shot is a little shot that keeps on shooting. So you just have to keep going.
It's so good. Okay. We're almost coming to the time for us.
Any last questions?
I want to ask you, what is the most astonishing pastime you tell in this book?
Well, one time we were up in Rishikesh. I used to go up there every year, bring about 12 friends. I mean, it's surprising to know that I have 12 friends, but being 12 friends up there, and we went chanting and dancing there. And, causing quite a bit of a ruckus. There's like traffic jams. And,
of course.
Yeah. So one time it got so bad that nobody could pass. It became a real block, like chock-a-block, like LA traffic. And so people got off their cars, out of their scooters, out of their bicycles, and after honking and yelling, and they just joined the kirtan. So they just leave the vehicle and everybody dancing. The policemen also joining, dancing, everybody chanting Hare Krishna.
Wow.
And it was sweet. And there was one beggar, he was sitting next to us, and not a sadhu, professional beggar, looking a little sad with his metal cup. After 10 minutes of looking at us, he decided it's no fun being a beggar. So he picked up his metal cup, he put it in his kurta pocket, in his shirt, and he joined us. And he also starts dancing. And
He said, "This guy that happy. Why are you gonna be
why
happy
can't
with
I be
that?"
happy? You know, like, why should I be the sad guy, you know, sticking out like a sore thumb? So he joins us. Then he starts dancing really exuberantly,
Whoa.
like really Bollywood style, going all out. And then he reaches into his shirt pocket, he pulls out a wad of cash, and he waves it around and showing everybody. And then he takes money and puts it into the pockets of all the devotees dancing there. And he's showing everybody, I'm not a beggar. I'm a generous person. So this is what this Sankirtan movement does. It turns beggars
People's heart.
into generous people. We're all beggars. We all came with nothing. We're born with nothing. We leave with nothing. The only thing that we take with us is the bhakti, the love of Krishna that we received and that we shared with others. This is the message of Lord Chaitanya. This is the message of Srila Prabhupada. This ISKCON movement is giving us this opportunity to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and experience, chant and be happy. There's enough polarization and depression and all kinds of, issues in the world. But there is one great cause that can solve all these problems in one sweep, and that's the Harinam Sankirtan.
Harinam Sankirtan.
That is the positive alternative. That is the solution. So we're fortunate. Let us rejoice in that and remind ourselves that the formula works. We just had a friend here from South America who has been quite isolated geographically and also in other ways for decades, but he's a dear friend, and he came and he reconnected in a big way. And he wrote me long letter of appreciation how just this time here in Mayapur and spending time with old friends and reconnecting with the practice of bhakti, with sadhana, daily chanting of rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, has really given him tremendous hope, tremendous taste, tremendous enthusiasm that is possible. It's possible.
Yeah, no one can take that away.
No.
That is the highest.
Yeah. And it's wonderful to see that can happen not just in the bell lap, not just in the last stretch when it's like, okay, I'm going to check out. I better get serious right now, because you never know when that moment is, when your number comes up. So why not live life as if every moment were their last, like the people in Napoli do, like today could be the last day. So
we went to see this, what is called, where all 300,000 people die, in one night. The volcano,
Yeah.
It's called Pompeii. So we took Maharaj there, and everything was, the ashes just covered the whole city, and everybody's gone in one night. Some people tried to run away.
well, the whole universe will be wrapped up like somebody rolls up a carpet. It was just be again absorbed into Mahavishnu. So we are taking ourselves as quite important, but VIP means very insignificant person. We're fortunate to have this great opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and I wish that everybody can buy one of this book, because this is a very nice book. And please.
You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on
Amazon,
Flipkart
yes.
in India,
and
or on bbtmedia.com as an ebook. And
also,
otherwise-
I wanted to ask you whether you do also program online, so people can join online. Let's say they are in the North Pole, South Pole,
Yeah.
wherever they are.
there's a lot of that going
So
on.
can you tell us how people can connect with you?
Yeah, you go to my YouTube channel and you find the ways.
Navina Nirada.
Navina Nirada.
Okay.
And there you will get the information.
Thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure to be with you.
Thank you,
one more
Ganga
time.
Prabhu.
And I hope we'll do number 3 in the future. Well, as you travel around
Well,
the
as
world,
they
you have
say-
so many experiences.
as they
So
say,
keep on
3
sharing with them, with us.
As they say, 3 is a charm, or 3 strikes and you're out.
There is a charm. There is a
So
charm.
you'll see which one of the
Alright.
2 it is.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Radio Mayapur ki.
Jai. Thank you.
Ramanande.